Episode 2 of the backyard build. So we've added a landing. Weather's been mega, but I've been wetting everything like mad. You can see I did it in the last episode and now I've done it on this landing. Soaked it and then you slide over it. It looks insane. It looks like someone with a degree, a PhD in pottery, has taken their hand to that landing. In fact, it was just me with my bucket of water. But this is what happens. Once the sun gets to it and it dries, it legit bakes. Like, now listen. Ow. Hear that? Actually hurts. So it cracks, all the moisture draws out of it, everything shrinks, but it looks sick. It looks like the Saharan desert, the desolate plains of Africa, in the form of 2 rollers. But that's rock hard. That's now rideable on BMXs, mountain bikes, pit bikes, mini bikes, RC cars, downhill bikes. The lip's great, it's cracked at the bottom, the top's still drying, but everything goes off so good. It's so different to sand, and that's all I've really got experience of digging. So this is the right hip. It looks amazing. The landing's got a cool angle on it, so if you jump to the outside, you'll carry more speed than if you jump to the inside. Ben, we can expect you to be landing about here.
Nice.
And then obviously more skilled riders. No, yeah, this is open for business. Moose is going to jump it, that's another thing. So now, moving on. This landing's quite short because this jump isn't very big. You should always try and have a landing the length of a bike, whether it's really flat, whether it's steep. That's not quite long enough yet, so I'm going to dig this turf off. I've been digging all the grass off everywhere anyway. It's useful to have in the jump, but it's never going to go hard grass, so I'm going to cut the grass out now, relayer it with some of the dirt we've got. The dirt pile's shrinking actually. So next, we've started dumping more stuff, and this is cool because I've never had to think so hard about what to build. There's so much space, it's such a quandary. You could have a 180 berm, you could have a double roller again, you could have a step up, a left hit. There's too many options. I think I'm going to be boring and build a pump bump. The reason being, pump bumps are fantastic for like gaining more speed. You can grow your speed over them. So if you build a roller there, then the jump that's going to live here can be bigger, because that's cool. But wouldn't it be nice to start having everything getting steeper, taller? Like we're talking, I mean, by the time it gets down there, it's going to be proper jump. It's going to be sick. So we're going to crack on now. Here's a time lapse of us building the first landing, and we'll be back shortly to make more progress. Starting to look like a proper set of jumps now, and we've hardly even broken the surface of the space available. Like, that is a lot of space. I've built jumps in gardens smaller. I've actually built jumps in all of the gardens I've ever lived at. My parents have had mixed opinions about it, but comparatively there's so much more space, which is sick. So there's actually a double roller, a right hip, a new roller. Now that roller's interesting because the pump bump finishes higher than where it starts, which is actually the opposite. That roller would work better that way. But I've got a cool idea. This roller doesn't need to be this wide, so I'm going to taper it down quite narrow, and then the next takeoff, which is going to sit roughly here, we're going to call it the tombstone. I want to build a really skinny, like, tombstone lip, because this dirt compacts so good, you can build cool features. So just like, yeah, like a tombstone. It's going to be cool. And then another hip landing, and then we carry on. So I'm going to build that now. I must add that in these conditions, the pit bike track, because let's quickly go and look at the pit bike track. Have you ever seen conditions like it for a backyard pit bike track? It's rock hard. I haven't made any pit bike videos here for ages, and every one I've ever done has been sloppy, an absolute mudfest. And now there's never been a more hard pack pit bike track. It's sick. And that's been made into a double, which has never been tested. So today we're gonna build the tombstone lip, and that is incentive to ride the pit bike track. So once that lip's done, we're gonna open her up on this, try and clear the new double. Everything's looking amazing. It's mega. Ruts. But now we've got to graft a bit to earn it. This roller's got some cool camber on it, so after coming out of the right hip, turning right, that'll help you kind of turn a bit more to straighten up for a left hip. That is still the plan, although so far all that's built is the tombstone takeoff, which is wider than anticipated, but I'm having so much trouble with all the corners. It's like just trying to build with dry chalk, and then when I wet it, it gets too wet. So digging this sort of mud has been a whole new challenge for me. If any of you guys back home have worked with this sort of stuff, please tell me how to build with it, because sand, I've realised I've been blessed with digging sand. This is tough. Like, that took me honestly 3 times longer than it would have done with sand, just because the more you add, the more it crumbles. But it seems like what's there is going to stay there and stay solid, especially everything else that's baked in the sun, like, is mega. So that section needs tarting up to look amazing, but I think with where the lip's got to and how long it's taken, it's time to ride pit bikes. Back in business. I think this is the best weather I've ever had for an outdoor pit bike session anywhere in the world. That got made into a double a couple of weeks ago, but it's never ever been jumped. But today's going to be the day. Look how hard pack it is. I'm going to try and jump it first run.
Okay, go on. Oh my god!
Oh, it's
wow.
way harder than I thought. I've got it, next run.
Get it. Yes! That was sick.
That's a takeoff now, isn't it? Into that berm.
Oh wow.
The takeoff transfer.
Okay, mate.
I'll show you.
Oh!
Yes, mate. This is quality. I cannot wait for the dirt jumps up there to end up down here. They're going to be big, but there's going to be a way of integrating it all together.
Imagine.
That was always the plan. You up for trying it?
Yeah, I'm keen.
Let's do it then. Let's follow each other. When you case on one of these, there's a lot of weight that you feel when you come down.
I tried send. I reckon I did a 50% send and nose case the landing.
Give me that camera and we'll see how far you get. Whatever you're going to do, wrist open. Open up the wrist. Oh! That was good. I can hear that the bike's not wide open.
Yeah, I don't want it to be.
It has to, yeah. No, you won't. You won't.
Okay, here we go.
Power! Yes! I'll give you that, because where even is the defined landing? Here.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
There's not exactly a defined landing on a few wheelbarrows of soft dirt that's gone off like concrete. Yeah, well done. New feature. A lot of you will remember this, the Fox RC car truck, which I took to my compound, and it was one of the most fun things I've ever played with. Oh! Let's go! No! But it's laid dormant for the longest time, like almost a year, because I smashed the back wheel off completely. Look, doesn't drive. It still spins, but obviously it doesn't drive. So I found the part. This is the perfect time to get it back running. Look, it's literally that tiny thing there. Where's my mouse? You see it? That's all it needs to be fixed, which is epic. I thought it was going to be a really scary, expensive, complex build, but that is it. It's called a front bearing carrier. No, that can't be right.
Oh.
I need a rear bearing carrier. I'm going to get a rear bearing carrier, and then it's going to be back in action. Hopefully, if I can get quick delivery. Delivery's a bit of a nightmare at the minute. Maybe for the next video. That means I need to build jumps for the RC car as well. So we have mountain bike jumps, pit bike jumps. Oh my word. Wow. And RC car tracks. This is going to be sick. It's actually taken a bit of time. Like this sort of period, everyone's doing home repairs, DIY, clearing out the garages. And I found this guy. I actually can't wait, it's so fast. Anyway, a lot of people suggested that. In a recent video I asked for comments and suggestions. So many people said RC car. And here it is, it's going to be back alive soon. Rear bearing carrier for Traxxas Electric Slash. Which you need to buy it. Honestly, you've never seen suspension like it. Bike manufacturers should turn their heads towards the RC car market. Look Look at that. Needs fixing. Right, back out to dig. Do you remember that green awesome Red Bull cap I was wearing earlier, just a few hours ago?
Yeah.
And the one I've worn for years, like my favourite hat, my favourite Red Bull hat. That's what I'm up against. Dear Red Bull, may I please have another green Red Bull hat, my favourite one. Because my dog ate my one. As much as I'm gutted, it does make him happy, doesn't it? The merchandise! Why couldn't you eat Ben's hat? Why not Ben's hat? Why my favourite one? I forgot to add the first roller. I'm going to turn this into a triple roller. And these are quite big. And given that I'm going to have to start, like I've got a very short run up, I think for the first roller have it a bit smaller so it's smaller to overcome, and then build speed, boost the hip like this. Massive whip, all sorts of shapes. I need to cut the grass out again. The grass has proved challenging, and it's part of the reason it's taking so long, because if you just put a thin layer of mud on top of the grass, it breaks up really easy and it's just going to grow through. So I need to cut out short, kind of small squares, and then relayer it with normal dirt anyway. It's a massive waste of time, but I think for this to exist for a long time and be long lasting and consistent, it's worth doing it right now while we've got the time. So this is going in the ground. We've got a triple roller now, which makes everything look way sicker. It's extended it in the other direction. Obviously we've got to get rid of that monstrosity of a pile of dirt. I think tomorrow's job is going to be to barrow all of that up and take it round to the new landing. Then we've got a clear run up to test this stuff. I'm a bit concerned about how dry it gets, but I think with water, a brush and some really fine dirt, you can fill those cracks. I've seen the proper trail dogs do it. I've seen how it works. It'd be nice if it always looked like that. So look, single roller, that's a bit smaller, so you'll build speed. Hip, I know you feel like you've probably been shown through these jumps so many times, but I'm buzzing. This is so exciting. The right hip looks incredible. Same story with these big cracks. I wet them, fill the cracks. It's all a learning curve out here. That landing looks unreal. I haven't done all this roller yet. Look, cambered roller now. Tombstone lip is there, needs a polish up. The left landing, I'd like to be taller than that one, but certainly steeper. I think it's steepness now, which is going to gather speed, because once we're pointing down the field, that's when I think it's important to start growing stuff, but also get really, really creative. By that point, I'll have read your suggestions from the comment section of the last video, and we can put it into action. I need another dirt delivery from Farmer Sam, so we're going to have to tap him up. He's super busy right now, obviously, but if he can get a spare evening, we can get topped up. But how cool is this? Backyard trails. They are trails now. There's a right mixture of stuff going on. And in the next video, I will attempt to ride it. I don't know on what bike yet. Ben, you've only got a BMX, so we know what bike you'll be riding. Pit bikes were really, really epic on the dry track. And it's been a cool video. Things are going okay. Things are going really good. I really hope everyone at home is staying safe, thinking positively, and thank you to everyone who's doing so much to help the country and this massive crazy thing that's going on in the world. But yeah, back to another video very soon. Thanks guys, legends.